They say when a person is drowning, he doesn't care whether the hand pulling him out is wearing a glove, holding a Bible, a Quran, or even a robot arm. All he wants is air. He just wants to survive. And right now, Nigeria has been gasping for breath under the weight of terror, banditry, kidnappings, highway ambushes, and villages being wiped off the map. So when news broke that Israel is stepping in to help Nigeria fight ISWAP and other terror groups, people froze. Some shouted, "Finally." Others shouted, "Wait, what?" And many Nigerians simply asked the same question. Is this real, or is this just another political headline? Well, according to the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria, Michael Freeman, this is very real. Not rumor. Not social media gist. Not political talk. This is official, confirmed, and already in motion. But hold on, Israel is not sending tanks to Maiduguri or soldiers to Zamfara. This is not an invasion. This is something far more powerful, and far more dangerous for terrorists. Backhand index pointing right intelligence. And trust me, when Israel says intelligence, they are not talking about phone calls and WhatsApp messages. Let's rewind to what actually happened. Earlier this week, on Monday, January 5, 2026, Ambassador Freeman appeared on national television and dropped what many are now calling a diplomatic bombshell. Calm voice. Measured tone. But the message? Heavy. He confirmed that Israel is ready to provide strategic and intelligence support to Nigeria in the fight against Islamic State affiliates operating in the Sahel and inside our borders. And then he said something very important, something that was carefully chosen. This is about working with Nigeria, not working against Nigeria. Meaning, Nigeria stays in control. Nigerian forces remain in charge. But behind the scenes, a global intelligence giant is now sharing what it sees, what it hears, and what it tracks. And this is where things start getting very uncomfortable for terrorists. Because Israel is home to some of the most feared and respected intelligence agencies on earth, Mossad and Shin Bet. These are the same agencies that track militants across continents, follow money trails through shadow networks, and locate enemies hiding in deserts, mountains, and crowded cities. So if this partnership goes fully active, it means something scary for criminal networks. No more hiding in plain sight. No more disappearing into forests without digital footprints. No more moving weapons and cash without someone watching. Ambassador Freeman didn't just talk about stopping attacks in general. He specifically mentioned protecting vulnerable and persecuted communities, Christians, Muslims, farmers, travelers, market women, school children, ordinary Nigerians who have been paying the price for a war they didn't start. And that statement connects directly to something that caused massive debate last year. You remember in late 2025 when Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced that Israel was opening what he called an eighth front to protect Christians in Africa. Many Africans were furious. Some called it foreign interference. Others said it was political opportunism. But fast forward to now, and suddenly, that speech doesn't look like empty talk. Because behind closed doors, something else was happening. Back in August 2025, there was a high-level diplomatic meeting in Abuja between Nigeria's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegwu-Ojukwu, and Israel's Deputy Foreign Minister. And no, this was not a courtesy visit with handshakes and cameras only. They discussed counter-terrorism financing, advanced security training, intelligence cooperation, strategic technology transfer. Meaning this week's announcement is not sudden. It is the result of months of quiet negotiations. And let's be honest, the timing is not random either. Just weeks ago, the world watched as US missiles and drones struck terror targets in Sokoto on Christmas Day. Now Israel is stepping in with intelligence support. This is no longer just Nigeria shouting for help. This is the international community finally saying, backhand index pointing right, this fire is spreading. We can't ignore it anymore. But here's where the conversation gets serious and complicated. Yes, Israeli intelligence is powerful. Yes, They are effective. Yes, they have stopped terror attacks in ways most countries can only dream of. But should foreign powers be this deep inside Nigeria's security system? That's the debate tearing social media apart right now. Some Nigerians are saying, if it saves lives, bring the help. Enough is enough. Others are saying, once you open that door, you may never fully close it again. And honestly, both sides have valid fears. Because ISWAP and allied groups are not just carrying AK-47s anymore. These people now use surveillance drones, encrypted communications, heavy military-grade weapons, cross-border funding networks. You don't beat that with courage alone. You beat that with information before movement. You beat that by knowing where they sleep, where they train, where they store weapons, where they plan next attacks. And that is exactly what intelligence partnerships are designed to provide. Nigeria's own National Counter-Terrorism Center already unveiled a 2025 to 2030 strategy focused heavily on technology, surveillance, and international cooperation. President Tinubu has also declared a nationwide security emergency and made it clear that the old methods are not working fast enough. So now the strategy looks very clear. Backhand index pointing right US provides air power. Backhand index pointing right Israel provides intelligence and tech. Backhand index pointing right Nigeria provides ground forces. In military language, that is called force multiplication, when one soldier becomes as effective as 10 because he has better information. And if this system works the way it works in other parts of the world, then the terrorists who have been moving freely across forests and highways are about to discover something painful. They are no longer invisible. But make no mistake, this also raises risks. Terror groups may retaliate harder. They may target civilians more aggressively. They may spread propaganda about foreign occupation. They may try to recruit more fighters using fear and religious narratives. So the coming months could be intense. Very intense. But one thing is clear. The security game in Nigeria has officially entered a new chapter. This is no longer just a local war. This is now part of a global counter-terror network. And whether you see this as rescue or interference, whether you see it as hope or danger, one fact cannot be ignored. Backhand index pointing right the world is now watching Nigeria very closely. So I want to ask you directly, no filter, no sugarcoating. Do you believe this partnership will finally weaken ISWAP and bandit networks? Or do you fear it will complicate Nigeria's sovereignty and future security control? Drop your honest opinion in the comments. I'm reading them.